Ontario's auto industry has been hit once again, with cuts coming to the Ford manufacturing plant in Oakville. Ford Motor Company confirmed today that nearly 200 jobs are on the chopping block, and the news is leaving many in the industry wondering what's next.
I've been here 21 years now, so I've seen it all, just the way it goes here, I guess. I don't know.
It's part of our industry. Yeah, it's a 10-year cycle. The last downturn was 2008. So we're looking at the, 11 years.
You're due for one.
Yeah, this was coming.
Outside the Ford manufacturing plant in Oakville, workers seem to be taking the news in stride after learning this week that about 185 jobs will be cut within the next 2 months. Unifor Local 707 says they've been told an overnight shift will be the first to go.
Ford notified us on Wednesday of this week that we were losing a shift in our paint facility at OAC, which is Oakville Assembly Complex. So that entails about 120 people on that shift. It's certainly not good news that we like to hear at any time, but we know the market is in a bit of a downturn.
Ford Motor Company says sales of its Ford Flex SUV and Lincoln MKT crossover are slowing, and it'll no longer sell the Ford Edge SUV in some European markets. The Oakville plant produces all three of those vehicles, plus the Lincoln MKX crossover. It currently employs about 4,600 workers.
My son is one of those people.
Really?
Yeah, so he's a little upset that he was hired less than 3 months ago and now he's going to get laid off. But, he was happy to be here.
Very unfortunate because they just got the jobs basically out of the last round of hiring. 6 months ago maybe. So they go from thinking they got it made for the most part to all of a sudden, they're picking up, starting anew again. It's not easy on anybody.
This is the second time this year Ford Motor Company has announced cuts and restructuring. In May, the automaker said it would be cutting 7,000 white-collar jobs around the world. The province reacted to the layoffs in a statement this afternoon released by the office of Vic Fideli. The Minister of Economic Development and Job Creation says, "We are disappointed to learn of Ford's decision to issue layoff notices to workers at the Oakville Assembly Complex. We want the employees in Oakville to know that our government stands with them and their families." But the union president says he isn't feeling the love.
I really don't think the government's helped us at all, especially the Ontario government. Doug Ford came out when they announced the closure of 222 in Oshawa, and I think, everybody remembers the first thing he said was, that ship has sailed, right? Nobody's contacted me from the government. Fideli never contacted me, or anybody else has contacted me to say that, we've got lots of support for your plant and your membership.
Meanwhile, workers say they know they have to start thinking about what's next, with so many questions still swirling about the future of their company.
It's scary. I got my own feelings about where this plant's headed, and I picture a closure of the plant within 3 to 4 years. 2020
is bargaining, as I said, we're on a product that's about 15 years old now, so we're in need of something fresh, something new, and not only that, who knows what the economy dictates for the next year.
Last year, GM announced plans to shut down its plant in Oshawa, impacting nearly 3,000 jobs. That closure, part of a larger restructuring impacting 8 facilities across the globe, and that'll save the automaker $6 billion a year.